Pay equality fails. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, and I thought today we'd have a look at this article from BBC News because, well, it's a perfect one for a relaxing Sunday afternoon. Because, frankly, this just seems like something a CEO should not have discovered. I wonder if this whole thing is BS and was set up to get marketing spin. Now, maybe that's just me being too cynical. Maybe, but let's have a look. So, CEO secrets. This ain't a secret, guys. We tried paying everyone the same salary. It failed. You reward hard work. Okay, this is why people get paid differently. I've employed people. I have employed people, and I have rewarded people. You start them off for as little as you can get them for, particularly if it's their first ever professional job. But if they work hard and do well, you are quick to reward them, because that's just the decent thing to do. And it's nothing nicer than giving someone a pay rise when they never expected it. You know, that's a really good feeling, guys. Okay, so, I mean, I may sound like a hard, tough bastard when it comes to people not having rainy day funds and just, skipping meals to, save money. When you've got to think about it, that all that visceral fat you have, guys, that is your body's rainy day fund. But that's for another topic. But, when you give someone a pay rise and they weren't expecting it, and saying, you've worked really well this year, thank you so much, we saw all the effort you put in, that's a good feeling. You should at least try that at least once. Anyway, so this has to be BS. But then again, it is BBC. It is the UK. People are stupid enough to believe this rubbish. Like, everyone should be paid the same, comrade. This is why this whole idea of pay equality, everyone getting paid the same, people get jealous. There's some fundamental, hardwired, evolutionary things with regards to our behavior and just humans in general. That explains why socialism can never work in a million years. You can keep trying it again, and you can, put your scrunched up face going, that wasn't real socialism. It's never going to work because people will get jealous. There'll be some people that work harder than others, and they'll be jealous of the lazy bastards. So then everyone will start being lazy. The smart money and the smart people will leave, and then it will fail. Watch, it'll happen again. 100%. So, when Calvin Benton started his psychotherapy company Spill, he had the idea of paying everyone the same amount of money. He thought it would bring harmony to the team. I mean, mate, how stupid can you be? Instead, he was forced to abandon the scheme within a year because of the rancor it created and pay people according to their seniority and expertise. Yeah, exactly. Come on. I mean, this just seems obvious to me. Am I that... I'm not that old, okay? I'm not that old. This seems obvious. He could be my age, couldn't he? What is he, in his 30s? Maybe over 40? Doesn't this seem obvious? Isn't this common sense? We realized that we had to pay attention to market forces. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Maybe he just worked for the government. Maybe he was just in the NHS over there. So now he's getting a taste of reality. I wonder. Says Calvin. Sometimes traditional practices are there for a reason. Oh, well, wow. Yeah, tradition. Yeah, there is some value to it. We need to stop deconstructing and abandoning the past for this nihilistic, pointless future. They're just tearing things down because they're tradition for the sake of tearing it down. Well, we'll see where that ends up. A lot of people will desire tradition and they'll go hard for it. Literally, they'll move a political window really quick, really hard, really fast. Calvin set up Spill in Dalston, East London, to provide online counselling and therapy to companies' employees. It helped them with problems such as depression and work-related stress. Started 2.5 years ago, the firm now has more than 100 UK companies on its books, 13 full-time staff, and a number of part-time psychotherapists dotted around the country. So he would be just loving these lockdowns and all the mental health issues it was causing for people around the UK, because it's a money printer for him. Over the last year, Spill sales have grown by 40%. We've seen an explosion in demand, he says. This is partly because of the pressure that people have been feeling, working from home during the lockdowns. Many cannot set their work aside at the end of the day and suffer from burnout. Others struggle to get motivated to work when they're not in the office. That's true. You need to have some rituals. I used to wear a suit every day. I got to work. I kind of gotten very lazy out of that. I mean, for me, my office now is separate from the house. Now, with the renovation that we're going to do, it's going to be right in the middle of the house. But I will have an outdoor little deck space that I'll have to walk through to get into the office. So that it'll be a climate change, a shift from one to the other. I'll be going in from the internal space to the external back to internal. You gotta, think of these little things. And then hopefully I won't have all the acoustic issues from the outside coming in. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. In addition to work-related issues, people also go to Spill to seek help for depression and bereavement. More and more firms are paying for their staff to get therapy for their problems because it's getting harder to get therapy on the NHS. What, the magical NHS? That's been stretched to the limit due to all these social issues that are happening in the UK? And that you've got no choices other than the NHS? I mean, you've got to, for all the criticisms people have about the US system, there still is more choice there. There are some advantages, guys. Because if you're in the, just look at all the children that have, parents have wanted to take them out of the hospital, take them to the US for other treatment, and the NHS has just refused. They've overruled. Both of Calvin's parents are qualified psychotherapists. He specializes in computing. He put the two disciplines together to create a service where therapists treat their clients over apps such as Zoom. One of the big decisions that Calvin made when he founded Spill was to pay himself and his colleagues an equal salary. Yeah, it's probably because he hired his parents. There were 5 people and everyone was pretty much contributing the same, he says. So we tried this experiment where we paid each of us an equal amount of money, regardless of experience, regardless of role. That is the stupidest thing ever. But then I guess he's learning. He's learning. He's come up with this cock and bull idea. He thought it was good, and he's tried it out. So good on him. Good on him for stepping up and trying some of these stupid ideas. So the more people that try these stupid ideas, the more ammunition we have against them. There you go. We wanted to challenge the traditional model of pay. We decided on $36,000 a year for everyone. We calculated that was decent living wage for London. Yeah, people don't care what a decent living wage is. People want to get paid what they're worth. So, what's this here? He said, okay, powered by therapy for 4 months now. I've always taken on a lot in personal relationships. I adopted the role of steady and dependable. Is that another word for simp? And in my past, people have used that against me at times. In my work, I live a life that I don't always feel all that comfortable in. When I was younger, I always imagined that I would work in a bakery and live a very relaxed life. Mate, working in a bakery is not a relaxed life. That's like the people who buy these bloody franchise bakeries and then they're shocked they have to get up at 4 a.m. It's a business. Do people not realize that owning a business is hard? It is really hard. Okay? It's a lot of work. Come on. But I chose a stressful but rewarding career where I'm unquestionably less happy than I would have been in that bakery. How do you know, mate? You never went in there. It's all a fantasy. Speaking to my therapist has made me realize that I'm making these life choices because I'm living through responsibility a lot. I feel a duty to do these things. For example, when I form new relationships, I'm aware that I tend to take responsibility for their feelings. A huge step for me has been to free myself from feeling like I'm responsible for others' feelings all the time. Wow. This guy needs to look into Stoicism. He really needs to study the Stoic philosophy and to incorporate the teachings and that approach into his life. If he's trying to take responsibility for other people's feelings, I mean, that's completely ludicrous because you can't even... The only thing you can control in the world is your response to it. That's it. Everything else is essentially out of your control. Sure, you can prepare, you can plan, you can hope for the best. But, the government may just say, sorry, we're appropriating your bakery. Sorry, we're taking your business. Sorry, we're doing this. Oh, you're greedy. Oh, you've got the wrong political view. Oh, sorry, you're a bald white man. You're dangerous. Uh-oh. There's only so much that you can control. You can't control other people's feelings. Come on. Maybe he needs to be a patient for some of these people, not running it. So it's meant that in my day-to-day life, I take a lot less on. I still live through responsibility a lot, but I'm able to recognize when that's harmful to me. In therapy, we're beginning to talk now about where this responsibility comes from. We are having to go back into my past, and it's quite exploratory. But I trust Laura, and we're talking about a lot that I haven't even discussed before. Let's see where we end up. Powered by therapy. Okay, so cool. I guess you know, if you need therapy, don't let someone disparage you or make fun of you. It's definitely something that you should look into to get help with. I would encourage people to look at their diet, because a lot of nutrient and vitamin deficiencies can manifest as depression. I was shocked when I learned that. I really was. And then you see all these people who are just depressed all the time, and you know, and their diet is going to be deficient. They're not, you know, and that can be a manifestation of that. You hear all these stories about people who've changed it, and boom, they're all good. You are what you eat, guys. So, back to this. Initially, the measure worked well and fostered a lot of goodwill within the team. It was kind of the startup culture. Let's say we're going out for drinks, said Calvin. There wasn't a problem of who pays or whether this person doesn't get paid as much as this person. So maybe the manager has to pay. Everyone gets paid the same. So it was much easier in those. What the hell does that have to do with running a business? How old is this guy? He's just a kid. I mean, if you take the team out to drinks as the boss, you pay for the drinks. If they get too drunk, you pay for a Uber home. That's the rules. Okay? Otherwise, if you're socializing, I mean, come on. Sure, you know, your staff may buy you a couple of rounds because they want to see you get sloshed. That's different. That's the one thing I really miss about not having staff anymore, the Christmas parties at the German club. I need to do a HeiseSays meetup where we just go to the German club and have ignore the carnivore diet and get into the good German beers. That'll be good fun. Thumbs up if you're a fan of the German club here in Brizzy, guys. The food there, and Andrew playing on the band, the one-man band. So, as Spill took off, Calvin recruited new staff, such as a software developer, a salesperson, and clerical workers, and decided to offer them all the same $36,000 salary. That's when the problems started. Yeah, of course. Software developers are more useful than a clerical worker. Come on. I mean, good on him. He couldn't be. Maybe this is 4D chess. Maybe he's like a Trump fan, and he's thinking 5 moves ahead. If I act this stupid, offer people stupid money, I can turn it into free marketing from the BBC. Software developers are typically very in demand, and they usually take a higher salary than $36,000. Salespeople are typically paid on commission. So it was not a model which particularly suited either of those two industries. Yeah, well, he's learning. He's learning. We really struggled to attract senior talent for the software role, and it got to about 3 months in when the salesperson started asking to be paid according to sales targets they'd achieved, saying the fixed salary wasn't working for them. At the same time, Calvin was getting overwhelmed with applications for the $36,000 a year clerical job he was advertising. Yeah, what's that, 72 grand a year Australian? Yeah, I mean, come on. We were offering a lot more than other clerical jobs paid, and a lot of people were applying to the roles because they really wanted this higher salary, rather than they wanted to work for Spill, because they believed in the mission behind the company. Man, this guy's learning a lot, isn't he? He's learning a lot. Among the new expanded workforce, the equal pay system was starting to cause grumbling. When we grew the team, we started to have some people who contributed more than others. We had some people who worked longer hours than others. That question started to arise, should this person be paid the same amount as me? This caused a conflict in the team and a conversation in the team about whether this experiment was right to continue. After a year, Calvin bowed to the pressure from his staff and scrapped the equal pay system, replacing it with a traditional structure of pay grades based on seniority in the company and technical expertise. Shock, horror, gasp. Shock, horror, gasp. Wow. This is the problem when people reinvent. They go down these paths and they reinvent tradition. I guess this is just the learning process. Do we as a generation now have to deconstruct all the traditions of the past and then build them from the ground up because we don't trust anything that's been handed down to us? There's a question for you guys. Is that what why all the radical feminists are trying to do? To deconstruct the traditional gender roles, and then they'll be built up again as people realize. How many people have you met who went down this whole career path, and they, particularly young women, went down this whole career path and then, you know, threw it in because they wanted to have a family, or they had to make the choice? So, or how many do you know that have unfortunately missed that opportunity and regret it? So, I think it was a disappointment when the experiment failed. Yeah, mate, because you got to pay more money, you cheap bastard. We wanted to do something that was democratic and egalitarian. Welcome to grown up world. But sometimes traditional practices are there for a reason. Sometimes you don't have to reinvent the mold on everything. One good thing came out of Spill's equal pay experiment. A shitload of free advertising from the BBC. Good on him there. That's a number one ace CEO move. After it was scrapped, Calvin decided to make everyone's salary level common knowledge to the rest of the staff. Since our salary policy is open, he said, there are no rumors about who is being paid what. That has helped produce harmony in the office, and if you are in the therapy business, it's important to have harmony in your own workplace. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, letting people know what others are getting paid. You know, but see, that would probably be the best thing to address the wage gap, because then people, or the earnings gap, because then people could make a stronger argument or stronger case for their pay. But you still have to work hard enough to earn it. There's the problem with it. You know, do those extra hours. So, what do you reckon, guys? A brilliant 4D chess move for a young CEO to get marketing and exposure? Or just reality slapping a lefty in the face? Let me know your thoughts or opinions in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy a merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. You can join MeetRx, give us a free training session, you get one too, or SelfWealth, where we each get 5 free share trades. Take care, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.